President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has confirmed and announced the death of the Nigeria immediate past President Muhammadu Buhari at a London hospital at about 4:30 p.m. on Sunday, after years of rumours and speculations by the detained leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that the person that ruled Nigeria for the last 8 years died few years after he took over office on May 29, 2015. The news of former President Buhari's death came at a time the ex-president was a major point of discussion during the preceding week after the personal media aide to the late president, Garba Shehu, confessed he lied to cover up the health issues of the then President Muhammadu Buhari, a confession the Indigenous People of Biafra described and said that the Garba Shehu's confessional statement about the use of the Villa Rat invasion story to cover up former President Muhammadu Buhari's illness vindicates its detained leader, Nnamdi Kanu, who had speculated years ago, starting from 2018, that the real Muhammadu Buhari died few years after assuming office, that the man that ruled Nigeria for the last part of first tenure and second tenure was Mr. Jubril al-Sudani from Sudan. In a statement on Saturday by the Biafra Group's spokesperson, Emma Powerful, IPOB said Kanu was the first to expose Buhari's health condition and was persecuted for it. The group described Shehu's confession as a delayed confession born out of guilt and irrelevance. Where was this honesty when the Nigerian people needed it? Where was this truth when IPOB and our leader were being vilified, jailed, and labeled terrorists for speaking it? If this level of deliberate misinformation had happened in any sane society, those responsible would be in jail for subverting the constitution, undermining national security, and deceiving the electorate. But Nigeria rewards mediocrity, protects liars, and punishes truth-tellers. The truth is like the rising sun, it cannot be suppressed. Today, Garba Shehu has confessed. Tomorrow others will follow. Aso Rock is a house built on lies, and the foundation is shaking, the statement added. The former president, Muhammadu Buhari, had begged for forgiveness if he had done anyone wrong. In 2023, he said at a gathering that, "Whoever thought that there has been some form of injustice on him, we are all humans. There is no doubt I hurt some people, and I wish they would pardon me, and those who think that I have hurt them, please pardon me." Late President Muhammadu Buhari stated this in May 2023, according to the video republished on X social media platform on Sunday by one of his former media assistants, Bashir Ahmed. According to the press release by the president's spokesperson, Bayo Onanuga, President Tinubu has directed the Vice President Shettima to travel to the United Kingdom to accompany the body of the former president back home. The statement reads in quotes thus: President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has announced the passing of his predecessor, President Muhammadu Buhari. President Buhari died today in London at about 4:30 p.m., following a prolonged illness. President Tinubu has spoken with Mrs. Aishat Buhari. Anambra State Command of the Nigeria Police Force has repelled the simultaneous sporadic heavy gun shooting in Oko and Ekwulobia, when two separate groups of unknown gunmen engaged men of the Oko Divisional Police Headquarters in the Orumba North local government area in an early morning gun battle, and another group took over the Ekwulobia flyover bridge in the Aguata local government area of the state on Wednesday, resulting in the death of two members of the public and set ablaze the patrol vehicle of Agunaechemba, the state special vigilante group, which, police said one of the attackers was killed during the deadly gun battle. And on Thursday, the police issued new updates, stating that an additional AK-47 rifle has been recovered from one of the fleeing assailants, while Biafra armed group, the Biafra Defense Forces, in a tweet on Thursday specifically denied any involvement in the mass shooting at Ekwulobia, stating, "Those impersonating them will one day run out of luck." According to the Biafra Defense Forces, the said incident that occurred yesterday at Ekwulobia is not in any way connected to Biafra Defense Forces, BRF, BNF, BLA, and BAF. Those impersonating BDF will one day run out of luck. Biafrans beware. Anambra State Police, in a new updates on Thursday, said that the police-led joint security force at Aguata recovered an additional AK-47 rifle with a fully loaded magazine in the late hours of the 9th of July 2025. The weapon is believed to have been abandoned by fleeing armed criminals following a sustained pursuit by security operatives. This development follows a violent incident in which assailants opened fire indiscriminately under the Ekwulobia flyover and launched an attack on the Oko Divisional Police Headquarters earlier the same day. The Anambra State Police Command acknowledges and appreciates the continued cooperation and support of residents within the affected communities. Members of the public are urged to remain vigilant and promptly report any suspicious activities to the nearest security agency. The area remains calm and under control, with surveillance and intelligence operations ongoing to apprehend the remaining suspects connected to the attacks, SP Agunaechemba, Police Public Relations Officer, Anambra State Police Command stated in a press release on Thursday. Ekwulobia in Anambra State came under heavy mass shooting on Wednesday when some of the unknown gunmen could be seen in the series of videos posted online by eyewitnesses took over the flyover bridge in the community and were seen shooting sporadically, which scared both motorists, nearby residents and other road users. It was gathered that the shooting lasted more than 30 minutes. In some of the videos, a lifeless body was seen lying inside a commercial tricycle popularly known as keke, while another clip shows a man lying dead inside a shop with a pool of blood on the floor. Anambra State Police Command in a statement earlier issued on Wednesday, said that the Anambra Police-led security force contained a shooting incident in the early hours of today, the 9th of July 2025 at Oko and Ekwulobia flyover, Aguata local government area. The team also demobilized one of the armed criminals, recovered one AK-47 rifle, one automatic pump-action gun and 4 via Kenya National Human Rights Commission, KNHRC has confirmed that 31 persons have already been pronounced dead by medical doctors attending to protesters who were attacked on Monday by Kenya security operatives and armed militias when thousands of Kenya residents came out to stage a mass protest to mark this year's 7th anniversary, an event known as Saba Day that commemorates July 7, 1990, when Kenyans rose up to demand a return to multi-party democracy after years of autocratic rule by then-President Daniel Arap Moi. The united opposition leaders called on all Kenya citizens to declare President William's Ruto government as an illegitimate regime that is an enemy of the people, hostile to the people, killing the people by thus boycotting all government functions and activities and delegitimize the government's businesses and actions, insisting 2027 is too far for Kenyans to wait before ending the presidency of Ruto. And in a swift reaction, President William Ruto on Wednesday visited Dagoretti, northern side of Nairobi, to inspect the construction of 540 housing units project at Kilimani Police Station, and during the visit, the president addressed the nation and declared those are apparent protesters who attacked fellow Kenyans, police officers, security installations and businesses as terrorists, stressing, such acts are a declaration of war and he will never allow retrogressive elements who want to rise to power through shortcuts succeed. Opposition leaders on Tuesday accused the government of deploying unmarked police vehicles to transport armed gangs to perceived opposition strongholds during the protests. They called for a national boycott of all businesses affiliated with President Ruto's administration, accusing his government of deploying state-sponsored violence and extrajudicial killings on Kenyans. This regime is hostile. It cannot be reasoned with. It must be resisted. We will not rest. We will not retreat. We will not surrender, the opposition said in a joint statement. Jeffrey Rigathi Gachagua, one of the opposition leaders and former deputy president of Kenya, said, on the 7th of July 2025, the 35th anniversary of Saba, Kenyans took to the streets to protest. Unknown to the peaceful protesters, the tired regime of William Ruto had a well-organized, state-sponsored militia working in cohort with the police to maim, kill, destroy property, and blame it on the Kikuyu community. President Ruto's ICC cases are still ongoing and were paused after witnesses disappeared. It is clear that history is repeating itself. Ruto is hellbent on finishing his unfinished business with the Mount Kenya region. To President Ruto, I say this with a lot of humility. Please stop being angry. The people of Kenya are far more angry than you are. If you truly want this to end, then restore the dignity of the payslip. When the middle class can breathe, they will create jobs for our young people. Stop the abductions, stop the extrajudicial killings. And if you want this to end, disband the killer squad. According to the Kenya National Human Rights Commission, KNHC, the Commission is still actively monitoring and following up on all reports and incidences related to the 7
bringing you the news in a more digital way.